I hope you're hungry because you're listening to Everybody Eats.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Everybody Eats podcast. We're here today with a very special guest, Mr.
Carl Hale of GingerHales.
Ooh, Mr. Carl Hale of GingerHales. So, before we start, we have EMIP on the phone. Make sure that you like, subscribe. Our YouTube channel is now up, so bear with me. I'm putting up about a video a day from our older episodes, so make sure you go check those out. The ones that are currently up there, there's the old ones, right? So just go, make sure you check those out. This episode will be up on Tuesday, so make sure you check us out on all the platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Castbox, wherever you listen to podcasts, we are on there. So make sure you give us a listen, subscribe, and share. This is the first episode of 2020. New year, same us, but we're just gonna be. This is the year of growth. That's what I've been telling myself. So we're going to continue growing in the podcast and our finances and our personal life and everything. Just continue to grow, continue to get better. So that pretty much covers it into today's episode. Mr. Carl Hale, right? So we met about, let's see, that was November. So that's probably about 2 months, no, December. It was a month ago.
Yeah.
It was December. So we met about a month ago at the UIL event they had at Top Golf back in December. So I keep talking about UIL, so right? So I keep bringing them up, like I'm low key, like those are my boys now, right? So for sure, like they not only do they do they help with the podcast and just the information they bring, but the events that they host, a lot of networking, meeting great people, of course. And I said a few episodes back that we were gonna bring guests from the UIL event in DC. So this is proof. It's right here.
Love it.
For sure. So you have an interesting business, which like how we met was pretty funny because we were at the Top Golf and I think we would just like both probably eat breakfast or something like that. I think you just said like, so what's up? Like, yo, what's your name? And then we just ended up talking. So you have an interesting business. It's Ginger Lemonade.
Ginger Lemonade.
So how about let's talk about that. Why? Like first, where are you from?
Okay.
Right, and then I guess like how'd you even get into that business? How did that even start?
Okay. I'm from Suffolk, Virginia, 757.
Shout out to the 75.
I started making it because I've always believed in a natural cure for everything. So I started with just putting ginger in smoothies. So I would put ginger in smoothies, different juices, and I had ginger lemonade for the first time when I went to Atlanta.
Okay.
I was like, okay, maybe this is like really good. They had all different flavors. I can't think of the store I was at in Atlanta, but that really enhanced my love for ginger. So I was doing, when I got back to Virginia, I was trying to do everything to get some of that lemonade. Like, yeah. I looked up the website. They didn't offer any type of shipping on the website. I was like, okay, I can learn how to make it on my own. So it was trial and error from there. Like, there's so many different ways to extract ginger juice out of the ginger. You can boil it, you can juice it. It was just trial and error. So over time, I just got better with it. And a good friend of mine told me I should start selling it. And I'm the type of guy that moves with a purpose. Yeah. So as soon as she told me that, I went on Amazon and I ordered some bottles on Amazon.
Got you.
And I started selling it. And the demand was really, this was right before the holidays of 2018.
So this has only been, 1 full year and a few months?
Yep, one full year of actually selling it. The process of me making it took about 2 years, so.
Okay.
Because I was making it I wasn't making it every day like I'm doing now.
Okay, gotcha.
But back then, like, I would just make it every blue moon, give it to coworkers and family members just to see if they like it.
Yeah, okay, so that makes sense. So how long did it take you to get, like, the secret sauce? Like, to where it is, like, how long was that process? Because I can imagine, like you said, it's trial and error. Mm-hmm. So, like, was it just as simple as, like, just lemonade and ginger ale? And ginger, and that's it? Or was it, like, what makes it, like, what was making the process hard?
Trying to figure out the balance. I gotta find the right balance, because, like, sometimes I would use too many lemons, so it'd be too sour. Yeah. Use too much ginger, it'd be way too strong. Okay. Or it might not be sweet enough. Yeah. So then I just had to start playing, because at first I was just eyeing it. Like, I was okay, boom, this much sugar. Just pouring it. Like, so, I got me a measuring cup, and I just started actually trying to see how much I was putting in it. Yeah. And I just stuck with that from there.
Got you. So I would assume like that's a learning process, right? So
For sure.
What do you like? Do you like cooking and making drinks, or is it just something that like you said you just thought it was good and then you like let me try it?
Yeah, because I'm super picky, so I don't eat much.
Okay.
But this drink was just probably the only thing I'm in the kitchen for, honestly.
Okay.
Like, if I'm eating something, I cook like frozen pizzas and sandwiches. I don't really do so much cooking outside of this.
Yeah. Got you. And that's really dope because for me, like obviously I have the clothesline, but it's not necessarily like I'm not making it by hand. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit different, especially when it comes to something like healthy. I know like that's something that's real big. You know what I mean? Right now, people are starting to be a little bit more health conscious, and for sure, the first time I tried it, I already told you I was like, me personally, I don't really enjoy ginger personally, but like my family, they love it. Like my mom and my dad, there's always tea in the house, right? There's always tea on the stove, always ginger tea somewhere, especially during this time of year, during the winter time. Like there's ginger. My mom would like take pieces of ginger and chew them. She would just have ginger on her, and she's like, "Oh, Bensky, like have a piece." I'm like, I don't want ginger. Like I don't want it. Like I really don't.
She's a smart woman. She's gonna boost that immune system.
Of course. But like, I personally don't. I don't know about eat them. Like, do your parents?
I hate ginger. I do don't like ginger. I didn't know about the ginger tea hack until like, what was it? Sophomore year in college. I got really, really, really sick.
Yeah.
And I didn't go to the doctor or anything. So my mom started boiling ginger and cinnamon and all this stuff just so like I would get better.
Yeah.
So honestly, ginger, the only time we have it in my house at least is when someone gets sick.
Yeah. And
that's usually around now.
Yeah.
And thank God, fingers crossed, knock on wood, I haven't had to have it yet this season. I hope to keep it that way. But I'm very, I look forward to trying some ginger lemonade whenever I'm in the area and seeing why Bensky was so feels for it. I have a question myself.
Yeah.
So, you know, they have ginger ale, ginger soda, I guess. But have you ever thought of moving into other types of drinks, like, you know, alcoholic ginger beverages or, you know, different kinds of ginger soda outside of ginger ale or anything else?
Yes. So, ginger soda, I don't think so.
You just need like to carbonate it, right? You like the oxidize it?
Yeah.
You know how they have,
Oh yeah, because they call it like a ginger bug. It sits for a while, then it kind of starts to turn to kombucha.
What's that?
Kombucha. Your face.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. It sounds like
it's
a
like
disease.
it's like a fermented tea.
Okay.
So it's just the fermentation process of ginger.
Okay.
But
I was like, what?
Be on the lookout. This summer, I'm gonna have popsicles.
Okay.
Ginger lemonade popsicles. Y'all the first person I've told this. So.
Okay. Got that exclusive. Got that everybody eats exclusive.
Everybody eats exclusive. Ginger lemonade popsicles. So I'm in 2 stores in the local area, and the second store, is gonna have an exclusive drink there. It's gonna be sorrel. So sorrel is known to be sold in the islands and made in the islands.
Yeah, I've heard of that. But what exactly? Is it an herb or?
Yeah, sorry, I think it's like a hibiscus leaves.
Okay.
So I made that for the first time a couple weeks ago. I've had it a couple times, but me making it for the first time, she really liked it. So she said I just need to add a little more ginger and a little more cinnamon, and we good to go. So we got the sorrel, the popsicles, and I have been looking into. Because I wholesale it to the different stores, but I've looked into wholesaling it to bars too, because I do a lot of different pop-ups and stuff. So a lot of people, this needed some rum, this needs some vodka, this needs some that. So a lot of people would like it with alcohol. Me, I just don't know the laws behind selling it with alcohol.
Oh, gotcha.
But I have had the pineapple flavor with Crown Apple, and it was fire.
Yeah.
It was fire.
I bet. Nah, that sounds like it would be a really good mix. But for sure, I think like kind of like what Edom said. Like I think starting here, there are so many types of beverages. I feel like you could definitely grow that and like serving different things. Popsicle, that's different. Personally, I mean, I like the drink, right? So when I tried it, I really liked it. Even though I don't like the ginger, like personally, but when I had it, I was like, yo, this is good. You know what I mean? And then I told you, I was like, yo, my cousin's gonna love this, right? And shout out to my cousin Mo.
Shout out to her. She drove almost an hour to me to get a couple half gallons. I was like, next time we can meet halfway. I got you.
But shout out to my cousin Mo. And that she's a like she's the realest. Like, she's real. So I told you, I was like, yo, my family loves ginger. They're gonna love it. So I bought a couple bottles. I came back to our house, and it was just sitting on the counter. And then I come back like a couple hours later, it was just done. I was like, I didn't even tell her anything. And she's like, yo, where'd you get that ginger lemonade? And I was like, yo, like I bought some just today. And she's like, yo, it's good. I was like, I know you love it.
Yeah.
She's like, yo, it's like, does he have an Instagram or something like that? I need to get some more. I was like, yeah, like he's like in not too far from here. And she's like, bet, like,
that's one thing I do love about it, like how you said you weren't the biggest fan of ginger, like. It definitely changes people's perspectives on it because it's a very tasty ginger drink. So it's not too strong and it tastes good, so you get the benefits of the ginger as well without the super strong kick to it. Because I take ginger shots, and ginger shots are no joke.
Nah, that's wild.
Ginger is the drink that bites back, man.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. Nah, my mom's like, it's supposed to burn. It's supposed to burn. I'm like, that's not good. Like, I should be drinking hot sauce. I should be like, it's hot sauce. But, nah, for sure. Like, whatever you make. And we got a bottle right here, of course, right? So what flavor is this?
That's the OG.
This is the OG. So I think when I bought it, I think I got the pineapple. I got a couple flavors.
Yeah.
I think it was like the pineapple and like some of the other ones. And that was definitely good. Mm-hmm. So that's really cool. So when it comes to like getting the fruit, so like, how's that process? Is it just like you just go to a store, you just buy a bunch of ingredients, and you just in here like grinding them out, or like?
Yeah. So that's how I started doing it. I started before I had a NutriBullet. That's what I started with my smoothies. I started with the NutriBullet. So that's all I had.
Wait, ginger smoothies or just regular?
Yeah, ginger smoothie. I've just been a big fan. I'm such a big fan of ginger. I eat like ginger candy.
Okay, all right, you want those people. Gotcha.
Yeah, so like back when I first started, all I had was my NutriBullet, and I ended up buying a strainer. So I would put some water in it, put the water, the ginger, and whatever else, and blend it, and then strain it.
Gotcha.
So that's how I was doing it. Then I had like when it was crazy, I was really hand squeezing these lemons, like hand squeezing these lemons, man. So over time, my mechanics got better. Like I had like the lemon squeezer.
Okay.
And then from there, I ended up getting a citrus juicer. Okay. So a citrus juicer, I just cut the lemon in half, put it down, press it, and the juice comes out. I ain't gotta do any squeezing. Like it gets like the lemon be so dry on it, so it gets every drop of lemon juice out of this lemon. So.
Got you. So I imagine that's one of the things that comes with a business is when you invest in that, that's an investment, right?
Exactly.
Something that's gonna cost. I'm assuming that costs a couple.
Yeah, especially my juicers. My juicer was a pretty penny.
Yeah, so. But like you have to invest in yourself, right? And then you have to take these in consideration because it could be something that it's a little bit expensive now. Maybe it might take time to pay off, but if it increases your production, right, it makes a process easier. Now you have more juices to sell. You have more juices at your disposal. You have to be willing to put down the money to invest in yourself. Yeah. And that's something, any business, right? It doesn't matter if it's juice, it could be clothes, even this podcast, getting the equipment, right? So all of it is an investment. And it depends on like, one thing that Corey used to say, though, when he used to do a podcast with us, like, he's like, if it's really your passion, you're not really gonna be worried like about spending the money on it. You know what I mean? Like it's not gonna hit you the same because it's gonna be like, I need this in order to do what I love or what I do. So you should never be afraid to invest in yourself. And I think that's something I'm still learning throughout the process. It's like one, it's not, you don't always want to just throw your money away. Obviously, you want to make sure it's the right investment, but you have to make sure that you're putting the money where it is so you can grow your business and do what you have to do. So I really respect that.
Yeah, man, it's a process. It's like I'm in the Navy, so I get off work. I started making it when I was on a ship. I'm not on a ship anymore. I'm on shore duty, and I was in security working 12-hour shifts, 13-hour shifts. I would either make it before I went to work or when I got off, like, or on my days off.
Got you.
Like it was a grind, and even now, like. It's still a grind. I'm not working as many hours, but I still put that work in when I get off. Like it's all about what you do when you get off. Like your off time, how you spend your time when you get off.
For sure. It's funny, I think Rashonda Scott, she tweeted something and then posted it on Instagram the other day. She was like, make your 9 to 5 like your investor.
Yeah, your first investor, exactly.
Yeah, 9 to 5, your first investor,
exactly.
and then like your 6 to 10 is gonna be building your empire.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's all about that hustle. You know what I mean? Putting in that work, and even if you do have a full-time job, well, instead of necessarily complaining or like thinking like, you know, like, oh, I hate my job. Well, think about it differently. Have that perspective where like, all right, maybe I don't enjoy the full-time I'm doing right now, but use that money to fuel what you're passionate about. That's a great source of income. Separate the money, do what you have to do, budget yourself, and then now you have all this money to go fuel, you know, your side hustle. And once your side hustle makes you enough money, boom, you know, you don't have to do that.
When you realize that you are losing money staying at your job, that's when you know it's time to exit.
Yeah,
that's when you know it's time to exit.
Yeah. So for sure. So I think that that covers the first segment. So then we'll take a quick break here, and then we'll go into a second segment, going more into the actual business and the business moves in order to start and to continue that ginger lemonade.
Sounds
so
good.
We'll be right back.
Peace.
We're here again with Mr. Carl Hale of GingerHales. You slacking if you don't have any.
For sure. It's good as hell. Get you some.
Get good as hell. For sure. So, so now I want to talk about more of what are the business moves about starting ginger lemonade business. So now, right, you made the juice. Granted, you made it, you have it. So now it's like, all right, now you have to sell it, right? So how do you sell that? Who are you selling that to? And like, I guess, what's the story behind that, and what are your moves? So I guess start from the jump. So how did you first start selling it? What were the moves and what strategies were you trying to use?
Okay, when I first started selling it, I just posted a couple of pictures on Facebook saying, hey, this is what I got going on, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of my friends and family supported me, because I hear a lot of people say like, oh, so strangers are going to support you before your family does. But for me, that was a total opposite. Like, I come from a loving family, so my family probably bought my first 100 bottles.
Got you.
Especially the holidays, like, I pulled up with a big bag full of ginger lemonade. What is it? The cooler bag. Pulled up with the cooler bag, and they dang near cleaned me out. My family looked out, like, they were taking pictures, and word of mouth. Like, word of mouth is everything.
Got you.
They were posting on their socials, and back then I didn't have any labels. It was just a plain
old bottle.
And people were supporting it because it was a good product.
Yeah.
And then also I learned that people at first in the beginning will support you for who you are and not what you have.
Yeah.
And then once they saw that it was good, that's what helped it take off. So after that, I started taking it to work. Like, I would be carrying this bag full of 60 bottled juices around the ship all day, like just selling lemonade on the ship. Like, it was a grind. Like, I'm doing 2 jobs at once. So.
Got you. No, I definitely feel what you're saying. I've been blessed to have a supportive family. Shout out to Stephanie, Monette, Rachel, all my family.
Everyone throwing out names.
Everybody. Honestly, but like my cousins, like they really like almost anytime I drop a new line or whatever, they're like they support me. So like when we talk about in a couple episodes having a good support system, right? So me personally, I guess I would say my core support system would be Edom, Alan, like those are the ones like we started this with. But then having like good family support system to like encourage your dreams, like that's important. You know, so whether it's friends or family, we talk about if you have a business or if you know someone who has this business, you should definitely be supporting them, no matter how little or how big it is. Whether it's buying the product or sharing the product, word of mouth, any and all of that goes a long way. If it's just like retweeting, posting, like all of that really it changes. It's not necessarily all about making that sale, but like you can get that exposure, get that support, because I'm sure there's been times like any entrepreneur goes through where it's been a little hard, a little difficult, like, oh, like maybe I should stop, like maybe like we all go through those emotions, you know what I mean? But when you have that good support system to push you through, especially with something you're passionate about, it means a lot.
Exactly.
For sure. And then you said something else about having a good product.
Yeah. So
that's something that I've definitely been, really been hard on, making sure that all the content is quality content.
Exactly.
Because you definitely want to have the quantity content of the exposure of like having all this stuff out. But the most important thing is that like I've been telling myself, you always want to have good quality in case you just get audited, right? So in case someone like, hey, say someone you're trying to sell to, you know, big name, say Coca-Cola, right? They run across your product and they're like, all right, cool. He has a lot of followers. He has all these numbers, videos, and this, that, and the third. But how does it actually taste, right? So when say Coca-Cola wants to go taste it and they're like, dang, this is good, right? You want to always be prepared that your product is always good. In case you never know what celebrity, influencer may take the time to go look at your product, no matter how good your numbers are. And you want to make sure you're always on point. Everything is always good. And then once you have a good product, people are going to support you. You know what I mean? That's definitely something I feel.
It's funny you brought up Coca-Cola though, because one of my goals, not Coca-Cola but Pepsi, one of my goals is to do a partnership with Pepsi. So, because you know how like they're always looking to hop on what's trending.
Yeah. And
health is a good thing that's trending. So ginger lemonade would be I feel like it's gonna be the next big thing as far as beverages.
Got you. So now that you said that, how's the market? Do you think it's saturated, either the beverage market, because I know you said you have someone who sells water. So I know there's a lot of different companies, and I know there are a few smaller people. I know a contact actually out in Chicago, he makes like his own water, right? So how would you say is the market for either beverages, and then more specifically for ginger lemonade? Have you seen a lot of other competition and things like that?
Not really. It's really not many people doing it, because I do a lot of different events, and a lot of people have never even heard of ginger lemonade. They hear like ginger lemonade, like but that's the first reaction. When they taste it, it's way different. Like it opens up their mind to a whole new world.
Got you, for sure. So how did you? So first you said you started selling it on a ship, right? So now I know you do like different pop-ups events, and then you mentioned before that some people are buying them wholesale. So what was the motivation behind that, and how do you structure those deals and trying to get that set up?
Okay, so I knew I wanted it to grow, so I started doing the pop-ups. My first one is crazy. I'm on January the 8th. What's Monday? Monday is January what?
6th.
Okay, so January the 6th. It's almost a year to date. Like, that was my first event last year.
Gotcha.
So I'm doing the exact same one again. January 6th.
Yeah.
So I just, from there, it just grew. I think I met Love from Culture T-Bar in Chesapeake. She ended up having the event. So it just word of mouth. I just kept meeting new people, networking. Networking. I just kept getting invited to different events. So I've been everywhere from Baltimore, New York, Atlanta, Charlotte, North Carolina. I've been to Pittsburgh. All selling ginger lemonade.
Got you. And that's what the shirt is about, right?
I got my summer tour, 2018 summer tour. Like,
got you.
It was 2019. I'm tripping. 2019 GingerHale summer tour. Like it was dope. Like.
Gotcha. So is it just you just driving to these places and you just like popping out like I'm with my lemonade?
What? I load the truck up and I hit the road. I'd be having I got like 3 coolers. I got my sometimes I need my table. Sometimes the venue provides the table.
Got you.
I got a little backdrop. I got my backdrop.
Okay.
Like everything that goes on my table, and I load the truck up and I'm ready to go.
Got you. So how do you, we were talking about this before, how do you find these pop-ups? Because I know my cousin, she has a boutique, so I know she does something similar for clothes. But is it, you just find, like, how do you find pop-ups and sell?
So I had to get creative because I was at a point on my summer tour where like I was doing an event every weekend for about 2 or 3 months. I had an event every weekend somewhere different. Whether it be Virginia, New York, Baltimore, DC. So I just got creative with how I found these pop-ups. So I looked on Facebook has a group for everything, like everything. So I found a group for vendors. So I found Charlotte vendors, Virginia events and vendors. Then you can follow hashtags on Instagram now. So what I did, I typed up vendor opportunity and I followed that hashtag. So every time somebody hashtag that hashtag on their picture, it popped up in my timeline. If I felt like it was close and worth going to, I would reach out and see how I could apply for that event.
Got you. So that makes sense. And then from there, like you said, you mentioned networking,
exactly.
Right? And then like we say, all these episodes tie back. We had an episode about the importance of networking, right? So not only is it important that you want to make sure you network for yourself, but you mentioned before, it's building relationships.
Exactly.
That's the key. It's not just meeting people and like, because you can hand out business cards and meet a bunch of people, but if you don't have that quality relationship, then you're going to miss out on certain opportunities. You're saying that, I think you did an event once, and then you said it was after like a year later.
Yeah, so I did an event in Baltimore. I did the Natural Hair Care Expo, and a group of women, they came by to try my lemonade. I give out samples before I sell lemonade, and a year later they were hosting an event of their own. They were doing a pampering day for men because they felt like we didn't have much of that. So I thought it was really cool.
That's cool.
So they reached out to me. So it was just cool that they thought enough of me and what I was selling for them to invite me to something they were doing.
Gotcha. So yeah, that's where it goes. That building relationships is beyond just saying like, hey, let me sell you something, or, something like that. They thought about you a year later.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's really dope.
And I've met so many people. It's no telling who will hit me up 2 years from now.
Yeah.
Like, I did an event in Richmond, and a woman said, what was this event? This event in Richmond was probably in September, and a woman was telling me that she wanted me for an event of hers in January.
Gotcha.
So
you gonna do that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Bet. So nah, man, that's really great. Edom, do you have any questions?
So how would you go about making those relationships? Like, would you, did you have like a predetermined like course of action in terms of like, for example, your relationship with those ladies? Did you do anything special or keep in contact in any other way, or they just happen to hit you up because they remember, that guy's ginger lemonade was so good?
Yeah, honestly, I think that's what it is. I'm big on energy too. I try to give off as much positive energy as I can. Like, people never forget how you make them feel. So I always have a smile on my face, and I do my best to put a smile on whoever I come in contact with face. So and it's Instagram, like that. I make sure everybody follows me on Instagram, and I pass out 1 million business cards. So once they see me posting on Instagram all the time. So I guess I'm constantly on their mind. They're always in their face. Yeah. So they just never forgot.
So I can actually say that's something that I'm starting to do that with the podcast, just like more marketing, more advertising, things like that. One thing I noticed that's actually really helpful, right? If you repost something, right? If you follow a person that you're trying to reach out to, if you repost and you just simply at them, right? Yep. If you think about it, you have like easy access to DM because they automatically get a notification like, oh, this person mentioned you in their story, right? So simply doing that, I realized like that's a good way to meet people, through Instagram. That's another new way to, and so far I've been able to do that to some influencers, and then they'll simply just like the message, and you get a notification. It's like, oh, this person liked your message, things like that. So that's like literally access right to their DM, and then that's a good way, starting from there. So for anybody who's just like, working on their social media marketing, that's something I've been using and it's been proven successful. So I hope that's something you guys could use too. And for sure with Kilty Styles, I definitely, was explaining before, like I definitely want to expand. So I think that definitely the next thing we're gonna start doing is hopping into these pop-up shops and stuff. So
I was telling you about the list earlier too. So I have a list of 2020 events for Virginia, everywhere, all across Virginia. Like, I'm gonna sure email you that list. Like,
sure, appreciate it.
So many events, bro.
So would you say that there's like a pop-up shop etiquette? Like, what would you say is like key? It's not. There has to be a little bit more than just having a stand and having a table, right? So is there anything that you've seen that's successful or that you've done yourself that you think like, all right, this is, I'm sure you've learned a lot from your first pop-up to your latest, right? So like, what would you say like was key learning on how to market, how to approach, getting people to be engaged and things like that?
That's really the big thing, just getting people to interact with what you got. Okay. Getting people to interact, having something that can draw attention. Like my banner is probably it's literally, I think it's 8 by 10, so it's pretty, it's pretty big. Like, you can't miss it. It says big sign, GingerHale, sold here, it's good as hell. So you can't miss it. And then I think another thing that attracts people to my table, I use vinaigrette bottles, and they got the little spout on them, kind of like at the bar. So people walk up to me thinking it's alcohol, and I have to explain to them, no, I don't sell alcohol.
Yeah.
But they're already at the table, so I asked them, do they want to sample? They're already there.
Yeah, gotcha. For sure. Hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do, bro. For sure. So yeah, I guess like learning from there, what would you say, like, is there like a specific lesson you've learned from like your first pop-up shop, or any mistakes maybe that you've made that you learned from?
Be kind to everybody, but that you never know who you're gonna meet. Like, you never know. Like, 'cause like I said, I met Carly Red at one of my pop-ups from Love and Hip Hop. Like, I had no idea who she was until that day. Yeah. But I let her try my lemonade, and she couldn't get enough of it. Like, and I looked at her Instagram. She had all these followers. Like, wow. Like, I would have never knew. Yeah. So when I got that exposure, like, it was dope. Got you.
So hey man, so that's definitely like you said, that's something that I'm gonna have to start doing around here. So definitely just like learning about different pop-ups, because it's different moving from New York to Virginia. New York goes a little bit easier for us, because like that was where my network was. It was friends, family, everything like that. So definitely for the clothing line, definitely looking to hit some pop-ups around the area, start networking with people, because don't want to like lose out on any opportunities.
Yeah, especially if you can get in contact. I can put you on to a couple of the local photographers. A lot of people, like a lot of like up and coming models will want to just be in a photo shoot, and that will have that exposure to your brand. So
for sure, we'll do business.
Yeah.
We'll talk on camera. For sure. So we'll take another break right here, and then we'll do the quote of the day, and then our final segment. So we'll be right back. Welcome back to another episode of Everybody Eats. This is the last segment here with Mr. Carl Hale. So we just spoke about the ginger lemonade, we spoke about the business, so now we're going to go into the quote of the day. So today's quote is actually something, it's not, I don't even know who said it, to be honest, so we can't really play the game, but it's a quote, but it's a quote that I heard the other day, I think it was like last week, that's like been ringing in my head, so I kind of just want to talk about what it means. Okay. Essentially, it just, the quote is, make stumbling blocks out of your stepping stones. So, I said that completely wrong. Make stepping stones out of your stumbling blocks.
Okay.
Completely wrong.
Say that one more time. Just for verification.
Just for verification, right? That didn't just happen. All right. So the quote of the day is to make stepping stones out of your stumbling blocks.
Okay.
So that's something that I've been really feeling lately. That's what's been speaking to me. So one is just with the podcast, with the clothing line, right? I've been learning a lot of just different skills, whether it's soft skills, technical skills, and it's not always easy, right? And that's just something that I'm having to just fight with myself. Learning new programs, and things just don't go your way, when things just go a little hard. Sometimes it's like fighting that, frustration, or having that attitude of like, oh, this sucks, this is annoying, right? Because it happens, right? But it's like pushing past that. Yeah. And then today, or actually yesterday, I uploaded the full video of our episode 3 when we talk about stress. And one of the key things that Edom speaks about, and that we have in that episode, is turning your stressor into your stress reliever. And it was pretty funny, just like revisiting that as I was uploading that episode. It had to do with today's quote. So Edom was saying how when he first started learning how to do Photoshop, I mean, he could explain this more, but how he first started to do Photoshop, it was like, it was a little bit stressful. But then now he was saying how designing is now more of something that he uses just to pass the time. Okay. You know what I mean? So I've been feeling that mainly with just with the podcast, just the video editing, using Premiere, using new software. It's like, at first it's a little fun, but after a while, sometimes just learning a new technical skill and stuff, like, it could just be a little bit annoying for me. Cause I won't say that I'm not the most tech savvy person. You know what I mean? Like, I know how to use a computer, I know how to move around, but obviously these are a lot of skills and programs that if it weren't for the podcast, I would have no business, using or doing.
I understand.
So, lately it's just been, in 2020, I'm like, one, a lot of it has to do with perspective, on like, don't look at this as a chore. Don't look at this as this is like annoying or hard. Look at it as like a skill that you could teach yourself. right? And just like anything, at first, like, it may be a little bit difficult, but once you start to got to get used to it, now I'm like, yo, like, this is fun. You know what I mean? Like, just a week ago, I was complaining, you know, about, like, oh, this isn't working, this is taking too long, how do I do this? But then now it's like, you know, I'm staying up doing this, and, like, the other day I realized I literally didn't eat all day because I was just like literally just like on the computer just like working on it.
Yeah, you was in grind mode.
Yeah, you know, and I was like, dang, like, I'm getting hungry, right? But it's like, you know, and then I heard a quote like making stepping stones out of your stumbling blocks, and I was like, things that bother you or things that used to stress you, things that cause you problems, once you learn how to tackle them, and now they can go from something that was hindering you or something that's annoying into something that's helping you, edifying you. You're learning, you're teaching, you can teach others. You know, it's like going from, when it comes to Photoshop, originally I didn't know how to use Photoshop, right? But I went from not knowing how to use Photoshop to like now I can help Edom a little bit with Photoshop. You know, he has his own, so our version's a little bit different, but like if Edom has a question, I can like help him out. Or like with Premiere, I'm still learning it, but hopefully I can get to the point where if someone needs help with Premiere, I know enough that I could be like, you know what, let me go, I can teach you a little bit, you know what I mean, while I learn how to do Premiere and stuff. So that quote has just been something that's been on my head, and I just wanted to share that.
I appreciate that. It kind of reminds me of something I live by. Just finding a positive in every situation, no matter what. Like, I could have a flat tire, I'm going to find a positive. Okay, maybe I would have gotten an accident if I would have just kept riding. So I'd find some sort of positive in every situation.
Nah, for sure. Like, I talk about my mom. I think I get a lot of my positivity from my mom, so God bless her. But anytime anything wrong happened or anything bad happened, she'd always say, like, oh, it could be worse.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like,
for real.
Like, or
for real.
like, at least you have your health, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're still healthy, you're still alive, you're still this. And then it's like the worst thing could happen and be like, oh, it could be worse. You know what I mean? And it's like, sometimes it sounds like, it's like, all right, maybe that's like blind optimism, but no. Like, it's really like that mentality can really change your whole attitude and perspective on whatever situation. And instead of sitting there sulking, being upset, you can look for new solutions. You can just have a good, like, you know, mentality towards it. So shout out to my mom. Love you.
Shout out to mom.
For sure. But for today's topic, something I wanted to discuss, there is a list of the top 10. Let's pull this up. Shout out to Rashad from URL for posting this. The article says, from Wisconsin to Texas, here are the states with the fastest growing African American led companies. So I found this pretty interesting. At number 10, Wisconsin, Ohio, Arizona, and Alabama, they all tied for number 10. So right here it says the Heartland states and the heart of the Dixie tied for 10th in the count of fastest growing black-led companies. Wisconsin, we know they had black people in Wisconsin, to be honest, but shout out to Wisconsin, Ohio, Arizona, and Alabama. I didn't know that. That really surprised me. The only thing I've really been hearing about Arizona lately is that it's good for real estate and retirement, to be honest. I've been hearing a lot of people have been moving out to Phoenix. That's becoming like another like Florida type joint where old people move to Florida.
Sense.
But I've been hearing that Phoenix is becoming like a popular spot for real estate. But they're saying that a lot of companies are starting off and moving to those states. So I thought that was pretty interesting. At number 9, New Jersey and Florida, they both tied for number 9. So they said in New Jersey, Mount Laurel, New Jersey, they said that they have a lot of IT groups growing out over there. And I guess Florida is a come up area too. I know Florida got a couple cities out there. But shout out to Florida.
Yeah.
At number 8, we have Pennsylvania. They said pretty much being led by UPenn, Carnegie Mellon, and I guess Pennsylvania is number 8 on the fastest growing cities for African American business. For number 7, you have Illinois with Chicago as epicenter. It says in total there are 5 Illinois-based Inc. 5,000 companies owned by black CEOs. Kentech, Millhouse Engineering Construction, Thank God It's Natural, TJ Fact, AGB Investigative Services. Personally, I haven't heard.
I have a question. I'm sorry. Where did you say Atlanta ranked on this list?
Haven't got to Atlanta.
We haven't gotten it yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, haven't gotten it yet.
All right.
Yeah, so I personally haven't heard of those companies, but I'm definitely interested in learning more.
Definitely got to look into those.
Look into them, reach out to them.
What was that? Thank God it's natural. That sounds something I'd be into.
Yeah, that probably sounds like something in the juice. So number 6, New York and DC are tied. Says the Big Apple, nation's capital, are surprisingly hot areas for fast-growing companies. Cities each house 7 black-led companies on 2018 Inc. 5000, including Compass, New York-based real estate technology firm that ranks number 71. So that doesn't really surprise me. New York, DC, they're hot. I'm in DC often now, honestly. So I'm in DC often. So, but I'm definitely interested in meeting more people out there. If it's on this list, then definitely, I know you're not too far from over there. So
yeah, I'm about an hour from DC.
For sure. So that's gonna be popping. So number 5 is Georgia, and obviously Atlanta in Georgia. It says the entrepreneurial culture emerging in Atlanta in particular is making it attractive for young founders to stay here after college. And I'm not surprised. I've been hearing a lot of things about Atlanta. I really need to go visit. Shout out to
haven't been yet?
I haven't been since a child.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's been a while. Shout out to Nigel Barker. That's definitely one of my mentors. He's out there in Atlanta, so we'll get him on the podcast soon. But that's my boy. He moved out there, and he's gonna be one of the presidents of something. But shout out to my boy Nige. But I know I definitely need to hit up Atlanta. UIL have their conference at the end of the month. I wish I could go, but I'm gonna be somewhere else.
Okay, I'm going.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I know Atlanta is a big hub, so I definitely need to go out there. I know it's pretty big for real estate too. I know they have the houses are obviously compared to New York, housing market's way better and things like that. So
yeah, definitely gotta go to New York if you want a bang for your buck.
Yeah, for sure. So number 4 is Texas. It says clusters of startups in Houston, San Antonio, and other cities. Pretty much makes Texas on the list as home to a large share of black-owned private companies. Shout
out to Sosa.
Yeah, shout out to Sosa in Houston. But yeah, that's another place. I really want to travel so much, bro. That's the only one thing. Shout out to a full-time job and stuff like that. But I need to be I really want to be able to just be yo, I want to go here. You know
we're gonna get there one day.
Go. Yeah,
we're gonna get there one day
for sure. But Houston, I think maybe when I was really young, I think I've been to Houston. But besides that, I haven't been to Texas.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been to Texas.
Yeah, I've been there once. I think it was Galveston. But I was really young. I don't really remember much.
Never heard of that.
But Texas is cool.
I know they got a lot of Nigerians out in Texas in Houston.
Houston specifically, yeah. My mom's debating one time I'll move out and my sister leaves the house. She wants to either Texas or Atlanta, somewhere at the international airport, and people she knows. So
Gotcha.
Texas.
I think Texas definitely. I need to go out there. I know EYL they had an event out there in Houston.
Okay.
But definitely gonna have to check it out. So that was number 4, Texas. Number 3, California. It says there's a lack of diversity in Silicon Valley, though those numbers are slowly improving. So, at companies such as Google and Facebook. And the state of California is home to 11 fastest growing companies led by African American CEOs. Shout out to California. I don't know personally. Let's see. I've never been to Silicon Valley. I think last year I was in LA. I know LA. That's a pretty cool vibe. I know they a lot of new things in LA. They got that progressive movement, and then they're real cool out there.
I've heard that LA really makes you want to get your bread up. You really got to get on your game.
Yeah. It's an expensive lifestyle over there too, for sure. But
that's probably what pushed you to want to go get
it. Yeah, exactly, for sure. But shout out to California. Number 2, Virginia. I thought this was surprising.
2 up, 2 down.
Yeah. Shout out to the 757. So Virginia says the Old Dominions of becoming fast becoming a hotbed for startups and companies led by African Americans. There are 12 Virginia-based companies with black CEOs in 2018. Shout out to VA.
Shout out to VA.
I mean, we right here, right? So we live in testament of it. But what I love about Virginia is very there's a lot of vibes here, right? So Northern Virginia, you have close to that DC metro area. Mm-hmm. I hear Western Virginia is just a lot of trees. But
it ain't much out.
Yeah. But in the Southern Virginia area, it's the 757 Hampton Roads area. There's a lot of little vibes here. A lot of little pockets So I'm starting to really enjoy it. It's definitely different from home, definitely different from New York, but shout out to the 7-5. It's been good to me. I can't complain. Been meeting people like you, you know what I mean? So it's been good to me. So shout out to VA. And number 1 on the list, Maryland. So it says Baltimore has become has among the highest concentrations of African Americans of any city in the U.S. And it's a hotspot for entrepreneurial activity. There are a total of 16 Inc. 5000 companies headed up by Black executives. So Baltimore, I was up there for the NABA conference this past fall. That was an amazing conference. I can go on and on, right? I talk about NABA all the time, but like honestly, it was great. One, it was great being there as a recruiter and not as a student. So that was amazing. And that was different. But Baltimore was good to me. I know it's not too far from DC. Mm-hmm. I always forget it's only like an hour away. Yeah. I always feel like it's further away, but it's only like an hour. But hey, I know Baltimore has a lot of potential. You know what I mean? So
I like Baltimore.
You said you had a couple pop-ups over there.
Yeah, I did a few different events in Baltimore, including the one that the Pampering for Men. I've done the Natural Hair Care Expo. What else? I did something else out there. Oh, I did some church event. It was a really big church. It was like a church event. They gave out everything from turkeys, clothes, shoes. Like they gave out so much stuff at this event. I can't think of the name. The O-Fest, O-W-E. It was the O-Fest. That one was really dope. Got
you. So, yeah, shout out to Baltimore. So, it's not too far, up and coming the city. So, honestly, we'll see what 2019 brings. I'm excited. One of my big things, I really want to travel. I really just want to keep meeting people, keep networking. Soon, everybody easily gonna have to go international too.
For sure, bro.
So that's that.
How's y'all listeners overseas?
So it's growing. You know what I mean. Okay. Obviously, most of it is based in New York, Virginia, and this area. But we do have we'll get some people in like Jamaica. Shout out to Corey. We'll get some people in like the Philippines and like random cities like South Africa.
That's
so
dope.
We get like random listeners from over there. So honestly, I just look forward to growing and when we go international, hopefully I could just meet on like some Anthony Bourdain vibe, like meet local people who have businesses and talk to them about it. You know what I mean? So that would be pretty cool. So we'll see what happens in the future. You know what I mean? When everybody East goes international. But I think that covers most of everything. That covers everything we want to talk about today. I want to thank you very much, Mr. Carl Hale, coming out on the show. What's your social media? How do people reach out to you if they want a bottle? If they want to do shipping? What's the info? Let them know the rundown.
Alright, follow me on Instagram at GingerHales Lemonade, GingerHales Lemonade, GingerHales Lemonade on Instagram, and GingerHales *S on Facebook.
Got you. So if people want cases, they want drinks,
I do half gallons. I do 12-ounce bottles, and I have 5 flavors: strawberry kiwi, pineapple, mixed berry, original, and matcha blueberry. I feel bad for waiting this long to tell my flavors, but this lemonade, everything's natural. Fresh squeezed lemon, fresh ginger, alkaline water, cane sugar is a sweetener, and I juice the different fruits to get the different flavors.
Got you. So you gave you the secret sauce, man. Everything's here. Shout out to that ginger ale. Yo, like I said, I wasn't even a fan of ginger, but this joint is fire. So
it change your life.
It will change your life, make you healthy, all that. So shout out. Thank you again for coming out on the show. Tune in next week.
Peace.